So if you turn the volume down now, can they all hear us?
You didn't count down from
you'll have to tell me when you're ready to go then.
Go.
Go now.
Ted, you know when I say
We'll keep
6, 5, 4, you need to go 3, 2, 1, and then you can talk.
Oh, well, I didn't know, and nobody explains this to me.
Countdowns don't just stop at 4. That's not how they work.
Last week I've come in too late, and this week I've come in too early.
Next week. They can get pills for that now, though, Ted. They can get pills for that now, especially at our age.
Yeah.
Nothing to be embarrassed about.
Take the blue pill.
Yeah.
Right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to eModels live stream on a Monday night. Once again, we'll be talking about modelling, not talking about modelling. I will be measuring parts of our anatomy that the channels just don't measure. So
we measure the parts that other beers cannot reach.
Oh dear, it's already gone to... No,
thanks for watching. See you all next week. It's all gone wrong. We're not even started yet.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we're still recovering from last week, and I think Pete's just been released from the dark room. Yeah. So what happened this week, I don't know. But there's 2 giveaways. If you haven't already, go and comment on last week's video, and you might be in chance with winning one of 2 models.
Yeah, and if you missed last week's show, what you have to do is watch last week's show really quickly while you're watching this show to find out what you have to put on last week's show's comments to win some stuff this week.
Yes, because you have to be specific with the comments this week.
Yes.
Normally you can get away with just putting blah, 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 blah. But this time you actually have to put something special.
Yeah, so what do they have to write, Chris? I didn't catch that. What?
Last time, normally you can put blah, 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 blah.
How do you spell that?
I don't spell it.
I put mama la 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 la. I got it wrong.
Blah, 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 blah.
I think there's bracketry involved as well, isn't there?
It's bracketry.
Sometimes an apostrophe as well.
Parentheses, you say.
So if you want to win the spaceship, type space and then make a random comment. If you want to win the airplane, type airplane.
No.
It was about sailors. Yes, we were giving away an X-wing and a Buccaneer, a plane and a space plane. So one comment needs to be about space, one needs to be about sailors. Family friendly.
Or just a random comment, but let us know which one you want to win.
Yeah, because if you just put hello pencils, we'll choose a prize for you, and you have no say in it.
Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
So pencil.
It's easy, really, isn't it? It's easy when we explain it.
Yeah. Now we do fully expect about 2. Well, when we get to that point where we draw the winners, I do fully expect to get a text from Pete saying, "Oh, what did I give away last week? What was I doing? Don't let me near the phone again."
It was the perfect Great Millennium Falcon, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. It did.
Yeah. There was that. I knew it was matched with a Dora. I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big girl herself.
But you've got to go. The caveat was you've got to go to the store to collect it because they're not shipping it out.
Did you just use the word caveat, Ted? I'm very impressed.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
That's all right.
Impressed.
That's all right. I'm just adjusting my brightness without being able to see myself. That's kind of interesting. That's a right posh word that I'm most impressed.
Yeah, because I'm posh like what
Posh like what you are.
Yeah. Right, yeah. So the usual merry mirth and mayhem. And Fox, do your bit, because I forgot what we're up to.
Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you all again next week. Bye.
Yeah.
Yes, remember, as always, this is your show. You can see there's a live chat there. I hope I'm pointing to it because it's over there on my screen, on the other screen, so I can't really see, and the camera's there. So there's chat here, but that's not the typey chat. We do encourage you to join in the live chat for 2 reasons. One, it's really fun. I've got a sneeze building up. I'm trying to resist it. I'm struggling. Just bear with me. One, it's fun to
sneeze.
What? Yes, it's really fun. There's a lot of cool people in chat, and it's a good laugh. And we depend on you to give us things to talk about because this is basically your show. You're just sitting around listening to 3 blokes talking in the pub. It's just effectively what we do.
Four blokes.
4 blokes. I know. Well, I didn't think you were old enough to be in the pub, Chris, because you're only little. So
I can have a Coke.
Yeah. So yeah, do make sure you join in the live chat. If you're watching this and you don't have access to the typey chat, if you're watching it, say, on the eModels website where it's embedded, just click on the YouTube icon that's down here in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and that will magically transfer you to the YouTube page where you can join in the live chat. And you want to, because there's lots of reasons why. And there's other things I need to say that I've actually totally forgotten. So over to Bob on the sports desk. Ted?
Right.
Did that just confuse you?
Yeah. So right, we'll explain it all now. So we just sit back and let go on with. Don't forget Belly and Bench, usual Monday night thing. Belly and Bench. What's in the belly and what's on the bench?
Yes.
And in the meantime, well, who's in tonight then, Chris?
I'll have a look at who's in. I'll have to scroll back. Oh, it's on Top Chat. Oh,
I have to top chat. I have to warn everybody.
Yeah, I'm on Top Chat. Top
I
Chat.
may
yeah, it wasn't earlier. I'm sure it's changed itself back. First in tonight on my live chat that I've just switched it over to, so it's probably not going back very far. Is
It's not
Sergeant
my live.
Bones saying iced tea? I don't know why.
Where is Sergeant Bones?
He's in the kitchen.
Yay.
We also have Frogspawn, Dad, Ickle Pete, Paul DeTomaso, Natalie Williamson, Stephen Hill Harris, Philip Prime, Mark Scopes.
Skullfish. I'm just waiting for the pause. I don't have any indication where you are in the chat. So.
Pete Rogers, Graham McRobert. I haven't seen that one before. That's and he says
Graham
Skullfish. I've heard that for a while.
Graham McRobert.
Would that be a McRobert?
Yeah. Skullfish again. Andrew
Skullfish.
Preston, Anders, Bob,
Bob.
the Model Bauer.
Dear Model Bow. Ooh, we have a German viewer. Willkommen.
Well, they say hello, so I'm not entirely convinced.
The
We
name's
also-
a bit of a giveaway.
Cynical Steve, Phil Lewis, don't know if I said it before, Mark Scope, Spruglu's in, Bruno Binet, another name that I haven't seen in there before.
Welcome, Bruno.
Unless it's all people that have always been there and just changing their names for the fun of
Yeah.
it.
Well,
This
we've
is
just got
entirely-
rubbish memory, of course.
Oh,
They're
that's
often-
also true.
Yeah.
I think people just change the name so it makes us feel popular.
Yeah.
There might be
Yay!
it. There's still only 4 people watching. They've just
Yeah,
got
sorry,
7
what-
accounts open.
They're just constantly logging in and out of accounts.
We have Vincent at Mr. Lost Model Making is in, another one of your mods, along with Dad. Swigging Pigs in, Mark's here, Wayne Hayward, Robert, Ray from Malta's in, saying
Robert
hello to us all.
Burr.
Hello, Ray.
I don't
Um,
recognise Robert Burr.
Michael Brown, Carl Winch, Paul Horner, other people that I've seen before. Festa 67's Workshop's in, being another mod, but he's sort of been live on telly as well, being a mod, so you know. It's jumped a bit, so I might have missed some. I saw Nevbo is in. Gaz, Ray, Robert, Gaz, Mark, JB, David Moores, David who, Ted?
What?
David Moores.
Da-
But you say Moores better than I do.
Oh, David Moores. Yeah, David Moores. Yeah,
No, you
we
said
haven't-
Moores.
we
You didn't say Moores.
haven't done anything from David Moores since last week, if you remember.
Moores.
David Moores, go back and have a look on last week's video. There may be something to your advantage.
Oh,
Was it? I don't remember. See, I don't remember. We don't. Edward Leonard's in. Andrew Howland. Now the Sunrise. Andrew plays
yeah.
games.
Yeah, Andrew, while you mention that, Andrew Plays Games says, how do we enter all of these competitions? Simple. You just go to last week's video. If there's a giveaway, you'll see it on the video. And all you need to do is comment underneath the video before this week's video.
Yeah, there's typically in the last 5 or 10 minutes we do a giveaway. So if you scrub through, you'll see us go cutting to a shot of a screen share of a kit, and it's typically this is the kit. Put a comment on the video. So when we get to the end of the show today, we'll pull comments off last week's video that are entering the competition for the giveaways. But there's usually a giveaway every couple of weeks.
Yeah, but there's always the mug giveaway for
Yep.
the what's in store, so you can take part in that as well.
Yeah, that's a live one here, live on air. So you have to be fast with your typing
Yes.
fingers.
And make sure to watch each show to the very end, because you never know when Pete mate might actually accidentally send us a text with 1 minute to go, say, "Oh, quick, give this away."
Yeah, because
Or you might even phone Fox live on air.
Oh God, yeah. Like, if anybody didn't watch last week, we were live on air, and Pete mate phones me and then sends me a text saying, "Are you there?" if you don't know, Pete mate's the boss. He's the e-model guy.
Yeah.
But yes, are you there? Kind of. Bless.
So yes, there's also Ashley Sparrowhawk, who has just popped in at the end there, and other people that I might have missed because it all got distracted.
Yes.
Hello,
Yeah.
everybody that knows me.
But welcome to you all. Please pull up a chair, make yourself at home, bring a beer,
Yeah, get
and
around it.
send cake.
Get around in your clamp hands.
And Billy and Bench, Natty Williamson
I'm
starts.
scrolling back up to the top to see who I can find first. Who have you found?
Who what?
Who's first?
What?
I don't know. I'm just scrolling up to see who I can find first on the Belly and Bench, but I thought
Oh,
Ted had found
right.
Yeah, I think Natalie Williamson was the first of Belly and Bench. She says garlic bread and cheese and mushrooms.
Garlic
Bench.
bread.
Bench hit a snag with Chimera. Chimera.
I don't even know whose comment is this. Where are
I
you?
can't find it. I think
Natalie
you're
Williamson.
making
But she's mentioned in Warhammer.
I'm not even. I don't even know where this is in the chat. I've lost that completely.
Andrew's played games below that. Mark Scopes,
there's more above that then.
Natalie Williamson. Anyway, she's on about Billy, garlic bread with cheese and mushrooms. Bench, she was working on a Chimera. So we're back at it when I get back from the halls over half term.
Oh, Chimera. A Warhammer. I've got one.
Chimera.
There's one there.
Chimera. I thought it was something you burnt on the patio, put logs in.
No, I've got one in my cabinet right there. Almost finished, but not quite. You can't see it because it's dark. But...
Actually, the first one I see is a long way before that. We've got Gaz Vickers saying Belly, Meat Feast Pizza. Bench, still the Edward ME109 and a Spess Marine, Bloke and Sidecar.
Yay! David Moore says cuttlefish, but I don't know if that means he's eating cuttlefish or he's become a parrot. I don't quite know. Maybe.
It's entirely possible.
And Skullfish says, when I said where is Sergeant Bones, he says, I'm sure that was a Commando comic back in the day. No, it was a battle action comic, different.
Yeah. The one was better than that. I preferred Commando. I think I was about more upmarket.
Yeah, I used to read the Commando ones. Yeah.
I used to have both, but I preferred the. I think I preferred the scratchy black and white ink art in the battle action comics. I think.
Yeah. The battle action was a bit more cartoony, wasn't it?
I used to do the sci-fi ones. I can't remember what they were called though. The same size.
There wasn't such thing as sci-fi when I was a kid.
No, when we were kids, it was World War II was where it was at. So it was all Germans and not Germans.
None of this sci-fi stuff now.
What have we got? Nana Sunrise says, Bench is crochet baby hat. Are you making more kitten burritos? Hedgehog burritos. Because Nana Sunrise did that photograph, remember, of the...
No, it's a hat for a crocheted baby, obviously.
I know, but she did a picture of a hedgehog in one of them, and it looked adorable, like a little burrito with a hedgehog in it. Bench is a crochet baby hat. Belly will be turkey, mashed potatoes, carrots, corn, gravy, 4 flavours of cheesecake. 4 flavours of cheesecake.
We need to know all the 4 flavours then. That's the.
Is that in the same cheesecake or just 4 different cheesecakes?
Is it like 4 cheese pizza?
Ooh, apart from it's cheesecake and not pizza, yeah.
4 cheesecake. No.
Yeah.
Cynical Steve says Belly was cheese and ham toasty. I haven't had a toasty for a while. They're quite.
No.
Bench is the quad jumper I was working on before the cynical Asp grabbed his attention. He's been scratch building things again. So yeah.
Yeah. He scratch built a spaceship that just looked like something out of Destiny. So we were all making up names and descriptions in the style of Destiny for him.
I did spot a model related question in there, and I know that Colin's already answered it. Graham Mook Robert says he has a question to the panel line. To the panel, have a question to the panel. That's us.
Oh, we're the panel now. We've been promoted.
A question to the panel. Yeah. Have we used pencils that you dip in water if to use? If so, are they any good? And Colin answered it further down, says I've got them to use on the digger build. I have actually. I've got them.
Oh, watercolor pencils. Yeah.
If anybody has used them, let us know because I haven't. I've got them. I haven't used them yet. I didn't think they were actually watercolor. I thought they were just like colored pencils, but I don't know. I haven't used them yet, so I don't know.
Some people do use colour pencils for things like little streaks and chips and things, and they can be quite good. And watercolour pencils are just basically watercolour paint in pencil form, so you can make little marks and streaks and chips, and then you can touch some water to it on a brush, and it can splooge them out a bit. They're quite transparent because watercolours are transparent. That's the whole point. So it's a bit like applying a glaze in pencil form, but they can be quite useful for very subtle shades and streaks and little tints and things like that. They're quite good fun.
Yeah, I was just thinking that maybe you could use them for applying like rust-coloured scratches and things like that, and highlighting like tracks for the metal tracks. Although I did find that on the kit when I took it out of the box this week to film it. I did find that even though I'd bought graphite pencils and graphite to do the tracks, it's actually a plastic track. The real thing have a rubber track. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Well, yeah, it would be because it's got to go on the road, doesn't it? So.
yeah, so a bit on of that. So, but if anybody's out there used them, let Graham know how you get on with them. So,
I've used graphite pencil, a graphite stick on stuff, and graphite's great for metallics. But watercolor pencils, I've got some. I've just never used them on a model kit. But they're very subtle. They're not like you're not going to be doing lots of complex weathering effects because they are quite transparent. So.
So now that concludes our contractual obligations to include modelling in this, and now back to the show.
Yeah, so back to the food. Carl Winch says Belly traditional fry up bench building Tacom BV206S and painting Italeri DUKW or Duck.
Now you've missed one as well. Dave Jones said Belly homemade pizza on the bench doing finishing touches to the Tamiya Nashorn. I don't know what it is. It sounds like a bike.
Oh, the
And-
Nassau, it's a thing.
And we need to know what the homemade pizza contains. You can't
Yes.
just say pizza. That's not good enough for us.
Yeah.
We need more information. So
Yeah, Dave Jones might not know the rules yet, so yeah, you can't just say you have to give the details. You see, it's the law.
Philip Prime's got the usual cottage pie and beans, and on the bench, the ME109 and Spitfire dogfight diorama.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh,
Two
that's
ME109s in the chat.
Now I'm trying to find out where we're at.
Phil
Ashton's-
Lewis. Belly, roast beef dinner. Bench, Tamiya Panther, Ausfd.
Ashley Sparrowhawk says, "What's the 135th Buccaneer? Is it the plane? It's 172nd, and it's the something or other Buccaneer. It is the plane, yes. It's the Airfix.
So it's
172nd
the
Buccaneer.
Airfix 172nd Blackburn Buccaneer.
Yeah, it's the new release from Airfix. It's getting some quite a review.
Looking at it last week, it looks really good.
You can tell by the name Blackburn Buccaneer that it wasn't a particular leading plane in World War II. It was some cheap, nasty thing the British used a bit of. It's not got an exciting plane name, has it? It's not really.
Andrew Plays Game said he's gone across, he's entered. So good luck.
Yes, nice one.
What did we do? Who are we up to?
Robert says Susie is still working on a 148th trumpeter U-boat. She's finished a very highly detailed forward torpedo room, complete with lighting. Ted knows all about that.
Oh yes, that's a long time.
Oh,
since,
yes.
Yeah, a long time since it was in the torpedo room.
Ted's going all misty-eyed now, remembering
it seems years ago now. In fact, it was years ago.
it. That you started.
It was like only yesterday. Oh, a long time ago. Paul Horner, belly empty, bench a mess.
Sounds up the spout.
Hang on, I'm getting technical information. One sec.
We got some late news just coming in from
News coming in
And
from the
Anders
other-
Ericsson on the bench has got a big Panzer IV.
Apparently, we're having just very quickly. Are we having some sound issues, guys? Just very quickly. I'm getting reports that we might be having sound issues. Is anybody experiencing sound issues?
No.
I'm not
Not,
here.
not us. I mean people in
people.
chat. Anybody in chat? We having any sound issues, or is it just Mama Fox with the terrible quality
Nobody else
stream?
has reported any that I can see down there. So
Okay,
if
Mama
you had,
Fox, it's probably just you.
just tell it to turn the sound up.
Yeah, turn the sound up, Mama Fox.
is it just that there's an annoying droning noise coming out of the speakers? Is
That's
it
just
pop?
me. That's just me.
Andrew Holland in the belly, proper fry up, and he's building a new bench.
Oh,
Oh,
That's a bit meta. That building the bench. That's your build.
I've had a proper fry up for ages, you know.
I took Mama Fox to Tesco's the other day for something. We had a Tesco's full English breakfast. That's kind of nice.
Did he have
yeah,
black
but you
pudding?
didn't need to, did you?
Yeah, we had black pudding. I said, "Do you want the big breakfast or the bigger breakfast?" She said, "I'll have the bigger breakfast." And I said, "Will you eat it all?" She went, "Yeah." She didn't eat it all.
Did you eat all of yours?
No, but I don't really eat anything before like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So for me, morning food is a bit weird. So
No, you gotta have morning food, especially if you're on holiday. Like when we stay in a hotel, you've got to have the breakfast, whether you want it or not. You've got to have it.
I just never have an appetite before like afternoon. I don't. It's just I don't know.
I have a report on the sound issue.
No, yes.
Apparently, you're only coming out of the right side, but it's okay
Oh,
now. But I think
yeah,
that might
that's
be a you issue again rather than
that's a hangout
big
issue. We
issue.
can't do anything with that one, unfortunately. Mark Scope says Betty. No, he doesn't. He says belly, spaghetti bolognese, and lemsip. Are you not feeling very well? Or do you just really like lemsip?
It's that time of year. It's lemsip time of year again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
Ben,
yeah,
she's-
man flu.
yeah. On the bench, she's decaling his Tamir Panther. He might just like that lemsip.
Yeah.
It might be using it as a herb.
If you decal a Tamir Panther, though, there's only about 2 decals.
I think
Matt-
I found it.
Matt Bradford says Star Blazer, apropos of nothing. I don't quite know why. I do know that Star Blazer is Space Battleship Yamato in the UK, and there's one in a box of there that I need to make just above the camera. I don't know why he says Star Blazer, but
Why not?
I've now got the theme tune in my head. Space Battleship Yamato 2199. Awesome, thanks. It's a great tune. Where are we up to?
Don't know. It keeps jumping. People keep typing things and making it move.
Graham McRobert says, I'm building Tamir 132nd F-1650 block going like a dream so far. Edward Leonard says, belly, shepherd's pie, bench, 2 Armiger Warglaves.
All right,
Bit
I
of
found
war-
him.
bit of
Michael
Warhammer
Jackson
action.
says, chicken, mushrooms, and chips,
Oh, yes.
and 1/24th mosquito undercarriage. So
Ooh,
I'm
mosquito.
assuming that's in bench, but
Yes. Very quickly, to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, then, I shall screen share. I will show you Michael Jackerman's undercarriage.
Oh, last week it was a foot. This week it's undercarriage.
Yeah.
Time to get your opti-visors out then.
In case you're wondering,
Should we be measuring our undercarriage?
that's Michael Jackerman's rather large, generous undercarriage.
Oh,
it is. It's a nice pair of undercarriage there, isn't it?
Isn't it kind of weird that I can show you somebody else's work? It's very strange. Yes, he sent a few pictures in for his mosquito. It's a 1/24 scale mosquito. I've only got the one picture here, but it's the size. It's like the size of a house. It's huge.
Oh, I like the flats on the tyres.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really good idea. I do wish that like car manufacturers and vehicle manufacturers actually gave you the option of flatted tires like that. Because how often do you buy cars with rubber tires and vehicles, and they just have, there's nothing you can do without. You can sand them down, but they look bish because it's not how a tire
we
works.
used to warm them up years ago and
Mm.
press
They need to
down
heat
on
it
the
and
wheel.
press it.
I don't know whether
Yeah.
that-
Hang on. Everybody's talking at the same time then. What?
I caught a film at the weekend, Mosquito Squadron, on about the same thing. It was like a mix of 633 Squadron meets the Dam Busters.
Oh, yeah.
It was mosquitoes with bouncing bombs, and so
Oh, okay. Yeah, Colin and Chris, you both talk at the same
Yeah, I
time.
think
So
we're
what
both
were we
saying
both
the
saying?
same thing. We're saying that you used to be able to heat them up and sort of squash them a bit, and sort of
Yeah.
it made them fit, but you don't seem to do that now.
No, the trick is that when you if you look at a real tire, when it gets flat at the bottom, it's not just flat; it actually bulges out at the bottom a little bit. And some manufacturers do give you. I'll look it on me so people can see me doing that. It has a bulge at the bottom of the tire. And if you just sand it down, it doesn't have that. It doesn't really matter. But if you're a real stickler for accuracy, some manufacturers do give you tyres, and often resin tyres or wheels that do that. But it's quite frustrating when you just get a rubber tyre and you've got no option to do that, not without severe messing about. So
you
it is
want-
nice to give the option.
You want an aftermarket bulge at your bottom.
Yes. For Michael Jackerman's landing gear. For his undercarriage.
yep. So
Moving on.
yes. So Michael Jackerman sent us his undercarriage this week.
Yeah.
What can you send us next week, perhaps?
Do not send us pictures of your undercarriage. Where are we up to? Oh, I've jumped.
Yeah, it's all jumped. Robert says dinner tonight is smoked, marinated, slow cooked venison cheeks.
Cheeks. Wait, you need to clarify which cheeks.
No, he doesn't.
It could go one or two ways.
Yeah, are they upper or lower cheeks?
Yes. Moving on.
Donald Billy, chicken fajitas, bench 3D print visitor blaster from V. That's quite models and 80s TV in one. Indeed, yeah.
I know. I actually spent a long time looking for anybody that made a kit of one of the visitor craft from V, either the fighter or the personnel carrier, because they were fantastic. And when I was a kid and I watched V and you had the kid sat there on a curb, there's one scene where it starts with a kid playing on the curb with action figures and the big. And I'm like, oh, I really want them. And there's only one place I found that made a model of the fighter, and it's a resin kit, and it's like hundreds of pounds. And it's not very good. So I was like, oh, so I just wish somebody would make a kit of that, because that's great. It's just shiny white, shiny black, no weathering. Bang, there you go, dead easy. Oh, get a. What's that stuff you use, Colin, on your white things? It's like the appliance white, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, appliance paint. Yeah.
kind of appliance white paint. Psh, there you go.
See,
the-
all I've got to say to lower the tone about V is Jane Badler. Yeah.
It's the V motherships. Were they like the Cylon things? They're just big round things, weren't they?
They were just big fat pancake, big flat round pancake. things,
yeah.
I remember I can hear in my head the hum every time they showed before they went to a scene. They had a picture of the ship, and you could hear the hum.
I'm not saying it was badly made, but it looked like an old Victorian bed warmer was just been held in shot, wouldn't it, when they filmed it?
Yeah,
I always thought they were like half of one of the Battlestar Galactica base stars.
Yeah.
it could have been. Few added corners taken off, maybe, perhaps. But yeah, I loved V. I mean, the not the series that came. The first 5-part miniseries was fantastic. The series that came after that was a bit.
Yeah.
it wasn't as
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I've got that on DVD, the mini series, but it was like purely for sci-fi research purposes. I
Oh yeah. And of course, I have the theme tune in my head right now.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God damn it! I don't know how I remember all these theme tunes.
And Andrew Plays Game says, when does the giveaway get drawn? Near the end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's if we remember.
Yeah, some will
it's a-
remind.
We're not going to do it at the start, because you don't start a show with the showstopper. You leave that to the very end,
Yeah.
and you don't know when the very end is.
Yeah, neither do we.
Psychologies.
Nana Sunrise is back reporting on the cheesecakes.
Oh yes.
A maple pecan, chocolate fudge, cherry, and original New York style.
Oh, but is that 4 separate cheesecakes? Is she actually eating 4 different cheesecakes, which gets extra points?
All mixed together. They'd have to be for, yeah.
I love cheesecake, me. I love cheesecake. Especially pecan. I love pecan as well. Pecan is great.
Michael Jackman says England now winning 5.0. I'm assuming that's a
Is this
Is that a football score or is it
a sports score thing?
score. Yeah.
Nah, I don't understand sports. Let's have a look. Bench says Anders Eriksson. Bench says the big Panzer IV still little time to build and a lot of modules to weather. I thought he misspelled models there, but he actually meant to put modules. Belly, spaghetti, and some sausage. Nice.
Nana Sunrise is saying yes, it's 4 different cheesecakes.
Oh, good girl.
all
get it.
at
That's
once.
dedication.
Now, I've got to make sure all these cheesecakes are right, so I'll just try them all.
It's a pity they won't travel in the post.
Dave Jones clarifies. He says, on the pizza is Meat Feast, and on the Nashorn is a German tank destroyer.
Yeah, and that's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bench says Mr. Loth is a 1/12 R2D2. I thought, is that a 1/12 R2D2 belly?
Yes. Just the belly, no legs.
Marinated steak with potatoes and tomatoes in a vinaigrette.
And don't forget, of course, while we're doing this show tonight, we're here to answer all your model making questions. We won't know the answers to any of them, and that's what Mr. Loth is here for in chat, because he knows all the things about everything about World War II.
Yeah.
We don't.
So
call
if you have a question, ask.
Yeah, we tend to see the question, ignore it for 5 minutes, and then somebody else answers it, and we pick up on the answer and act all knowledgeable.
He's like our filter. All the questions filter through Mr. Loth, basically.
Everyone, this is where we get everyone saying that the sound's all okay. Jeff Longman says happy Monday and happy Thanksgiving here in Canada.
Ooh, hang on.
Yeah. Thanksgiving in Canada. Apparently, it's also a public holiday in America. Apparently, it's Columbus Day.
No, that's not as impressive as Thanksgiving Day in Canada. In Canada, I can wave a flag.
Mark is asking about the fact of the day.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that. Hang on,
We'll
let me
come back to that momentarily.
Yeah,
I need to-
talk amongst yourselves while we
need
find
to-
that Foxes.
Yeah, we're just killing time while someone gets his ducks in a row.
I need to. I've got nowhere to. Oh,
Just can't get the
right,
start.
hang on. Right, I've got to open. Have I?
Russell
Fudge
Williams
pasta.
on belly and bench has got deep fried calamari and batter with sweet chili dip, and on the bench, Adam West Batman. Get
Oh, yeah.
Is that the Mobius kit? Because that's supposed to be quite good. The fact of the day today was something about something, but I can't remember what it was because I can't get to it now because it's behind 3 other things on my screen. Some bloke on the moon took a film and it was the first video transmission from the moon. There you go, science. And I forgot to put the camera on me.
Yeah, we like science because it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't get to it now. I closed it down like a spoon and now I can't get to it. So
Actually,
You're
Ashley Sparrow says it's 50 years of the 50p.
50 years of the 50 pence. I'll see if I can find it. Hang on, I can't do anything. I can't find it because I can't get to it because I'll affect the screen
50 years since folk were saying that'll never work. Yeah, I don't-
It'll never work.
Yeah.
Why would you want 100 pence in a pound? I want 37.265 pence in a pound and 17 groats and a cow.
Yeah.
I've got my Canadian flag sorted out now. There we go. It's going to fall out now, isn't it?
Yes. Not if you stab it harder.
Mhm.
Stab it harder. There you go. Right.
Canada Day, yeah. You're going to make me sad that I gave you that flag, aren't you?
Have you not always been sad that you gave me this flag and I always try and you get it out on Canada things?
Uh,
And you know the best thing about the Canadian flag? It doesn't matter which way around it is. It always looks the right way around. Thanks, Canada.
unless it's upside down.
You shut up.
Oh dear. Is it time to do something yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
AJ says, Belly, sweet chili chicken, stir fry, bench, 124th Sea Harrier. Still.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, 124 Sea Harrier is quite big.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of bench.
Yeah.
Good.
Phil East says, Belly pepperoni pizza, bench, the Dio and the Skull Clan figures from E-Models.
Oh.
Ooh.
Is that part of the kit? Is that the top half of the foot? The skull?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Skull
Dave-
clan figures.
David Moore's asked if it was Neil and Buzz. No, it was some bloke from not actually on the moon. I don't know. It was something to do with a live video broadcast. It was the first one ever that some astronaut type chap did, and it was very fascinating. But I can't get to it now. So
It was
Science.
really interesting, and we didn't hear it either.
Yes.
So,
Some spacey bloke did it.
Yeah.
shall I give a foot update?
Yeah,
Yeah.
How's your foot today then, Chris?
It's there. I've done some stuff with it. You can't really tell, really. I've painted it in ivory, just a base primer in ivory.
So it's
I've also
elephant foot.
painted the stand in mahogany to give it a more sort of woody look to the stand. So that's the first basic primer coat. I will be doing some more in-depth painting and weathering on it in the future, but so far it's coming along. Yeah,
Paint chipping, rust.
no rust, no paint chipping, no metallics either. No.
Oh, moss.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how you can weather a foot.
You stay tuned.
He could have a metal plate in his foot that needs weathering.
I can replace a toe.
Could be. Could be. You could make it into like a prop from bones. So it'd need kind of gristle and stuff and
Yeah, put a little soundboard and some electric in and have dancing phalanges.
dancing phalanges.
No.
David Moore says I blinded them with science.
Uh-huh.
Right, Carl Winch has a serious question, so serious face chat.
Okay.
Serious face. Mr. Loth, are you ready for your answers? Any recommendations for glue to use for painted parts? I usually use Tamiya Extra Thin and Slow Zap, but one removes the paint and the other leaves a white mark. Thanks. I would say don't glue painted parts if you can avoid
Yeah,
it.
I usually scratch if you two joints are going together. I'd scratch the paint off between the two, and
Yeah.
then just put your glue between that. I always paint the parts and end up scraping loads of paint off because I just don't trust the glue to bond correctly.
I mean, if they are really small parts and you've got a simple like peg and hole where it's like a socket and a key that goes in it, then yes, scrape the paint off the inside the socket and on the key part, the little nub that goes in the hole, and then put it together and then do a touch of Extra Thin, just a tiny touch, and that will suck in and you won't get paint everywhere. You can do it. If you stop slashing glue everywhere, that's when you start messing up your paint job. But if you just touching the two parts with the brush and the little tiny bit of glue just sucks in, that should be enough. But ultimately, it's better not to paint the parts first if you can avoid it.
Sometimes you get away with it. Tamiya Extra Thin, as you say, does remove the paint, and you can sometimes get away using that sort of technique to just strip the paint away, and then the two parts are glued together.
Worst
Yeah,
comes to the worst, you can always repaint and touch it up again. So
One other thing to consider as well, depends on what it is, but in some situations you can actually use things like PVA glue or Elmer's glue to our colonial cousins in the States. I made a Warhammer land speeder. It's up there somewhere behind my head. It's there somewhere. And I put all the figures in. They're all painted. I had to paint the figures before I put them in. But of course, once they're painted, I couldn't start slashing glue everywhere, so I just PVA glued them in, and they're in there, and they're wedged nice. They might fall out eventually one day, but I can glue them back in again. So PVA glue, as long as it's nothing structural and load-bearing, or anything small and delicate, you can get away with PVA. It's not the best fix in the world, but if it does fall off, the glue doesn't take anything with it. So.
What about contact to clear? Would that do a similar job?
It'd be just as messy as Tamiya Extra Thin, except it's not as sticky. The thing with PVA glue is it doesn't do anything chemically, it just sticks. So it's not going to affect your paint. Super glue or CA glue is bad because it's when everything goes cloudy, that's the vapors, that's the chemical vapors, the cyanoacrylates flashing off, affects the paint. I did find you're always told never to use super glue or CA glue on clear parts because it fogs them up. And it does. Again, it's the vapors that fog up the clear parts. I had to glue a clear part on to something once. And what I found was, if you I super glued it on and it fogged up. So I got some cotton buds and some isopropyl alcohol and spent a day just every now and then wiping the fog off, and eventually it disappeared. So it's not a perfect solution. It won't work inside the canopy because it's inside, but it can get away. But yeah, extra thin if you're careful, or PVA glue, but just scrape paint off the joints so it grips properly.
Yeah, one thing I took whilst we're on the subject of clear parts, I picked this up from eModels the other day. Glue and glaze from Deluxe Materials. It's supposed to be pretty good for gluing and actually making windows as well. If you've got a really small model, sort of a warship with little portholes in, you can drag that across and it puts glazing in.
Is it basically a canopy glue like Micro Crystal Clear or Revell canopy glue? Yeah, you can use those as well. If you're doing something like photo etch parts or little tiny parts, things like that clear canopy glue, it's basically just like PVA, so you can use that as well. There's that stuff Ted's got. There's Revell Contact to Clear,
Does
which is a canopy glue.
still do the clear fix, mate?
I don't think it's very good.
No.
Revell Contact to Clear is actually a really good clear canopy glue.
Yeah.
But Micro Crystal Clear as well, which I think eModels stock both of those.
Yeah, that's where I got mine from.
I've got here in my hand, I have in my hand a small bottle. I have in my hand the Revell Contact to Clear with my thumb covering it up, and it's backwards. Look at that, they sent me a reverse printed one. And Micro Crystal Clear, which is also printed in reverse. What are the odds of that?
How do you do that? That's witchcraft and tomfoolery at work.
I get them free because they're printed back to front.
Yeah, you can see the emails now being typed. Can I have some of them?
Hey, you got any more of them? Ones back to front ones? I'll have them. Yeah. So yeah,
we've got a whole box of back to front bottles. We'll never sell them.
Yeah. And the reason they're unofficially called canopy glues is because they're kind of what model makers use to glue canopies on aircraft, because they have the same problem. Same with clear parts, not just painted parts. You can't use most glues on clear parts because it either messes up the clear part or fogs it up. So that's where things like these canopy glues. But these are basically just PVA.
Yeah, it's the basis of it.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. They don't need fumes or vapors or anything.
People have been complaining about your new eModels ad, Fox.
My knee models ad.
Mark Scope says, anyone listen to Fox doing a dodgy American accent in the new eModels ad? Where we got Sergeant Bones says, see, I'm not the only Yankee here that cringed listening to Fox's American accent.
Well, not being an American,
David Moore says it's not just the Americans that cringed.
Yeah, not being American, I can't be expected to necessarily do a good American accent. You pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
What's your excuse for your brilliant London accent?
Folk handles. Yes, no, I do the best I can. I thought my accent was quite good, but it clearly isn't. So.
Anders has a question. After laying the paint layer, in what order do you do decals, panel lining, scratches, paint chipping, shades, and so on? Always in the same order? I seem to mix things up due to a little routine.
Just before we answer that, Carl Winch has put a £10 super chat through. Big colour box. Excellent, thank you. I usually build them paint, but having to paint them, build the truck I'm building. I'll do the methods you suggest and let you know how I get on. Thank you very much for the super chat.
Thanks for that, Carl. Yeah, do let us know how you get on, and send us a picture too. Send a picture for the Facebook page, eModels.
Yeah. And if you are watching this on YouTube and you can see the chat, that's what a super chat look. When we say use the super chat, if you want to catch our attention, it puts a big colour box. That's how you say it. Anyway, yes, back to Anders' question. I can answer that, but I'm going to let everybody else do it because I've been talking too much.
I'm trying to work out.
Well, we've got decals, panel lines, scratches, paint dripping, shades, and so on.
Base paint.
He's basically saying, how do you do weathering?
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch the videos.
I tend to do paint, gloss, decals, then panel lining, that sort of thing, and just gloss between each layer. Build it up.
Yeah, as a general rule, you've got to do chipping after doing decals because that's how it happens in the real world.
Absolutely.
They don't send them out into the wild. They get chipped and then they start putting the decals and not decals. You know, the painting part.
Chip your decals as well. Don't leave them. Yeah.
I mean, if
they're hiding a chip with a decal.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, don't panic if you do the chipping first and forget like I've done, because you can chip your decals, you can paint chips over the decals. The best way to think about it is how would it weather in real life? And in real, say you're building a JCB. Think about what you're building. It's got metal, it's got primer. In real life, it's got metal, it's got primer, it's got paint, it's got markings that are just painted onto the paint, so it's more paint. And then the weathering all goes on top of that. So all your chipping takes into all of that paint and markings. All the rust will eat its way from underneath or through down. Like streaks will be on top of the paint. Rust in the metal would come from underneath. So you think of it logically. If you've got a vehicle that's metal, primer, paint, and markings, you get to do those first, and then you do everything else like scratches and weathering and everything else. Hello. Some people will do things like rust and the bare metal effects first, but that's because they're then going to use chipping fluids to then paint everything else on top and then use the chipping fluids to take that back off again to reveal the rust underneath. So that's the only time where you do it the other way around. If you want to do the rust and stuff first and then chip it back, then you're effectively creating actual paint chips, which is the kind of more realistic. But if you're not using chipping fluids, you can paint them on top. But markings on a vehicle are either painted on or they're vinyl in real life. So think logically, if they're painted on, they need to chip the same as all the other paint. If a vehicle has vinyl markings, like say the stenciling on the side of a military vehicle might just be stuck on vinyl, you could paint over that with your chips, or you could actually get a very sharp pin or knife and chip away at the decals to reveal the paint underneath. You can. I have done chipping first and then put decals on top, but then I go in and scratch the decals to reveal the chipping underneath. It's different ways of doing it.
I like it when you see it in the dioramas where people have put like the faded posters or the faded decals on paint jobs and that. I think that can look really effective, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if you're doing if you're doing chipping with chipping fluids, where you're literally painting rust and stuff, then paint on top, and then chipping the paint back to reveal the rust, your markings are going to struggle a bit there, because if they're decals, you're going to have to chip the decals once you've done everything else to reveal the paint and the rust underneath. But if you're brush painting your chipping or anything like that, and your rust patches, then you can paint them on top of the decals. It doesn't really matter too much, because either way you can work your way around it. But ideally, I'm doing my big Cesabi at the minute, and I've got to do the decals first before I do all the paint chipping, because it's easy just to paint chips over the. I'm brush painting the chips, so it's easy to do paint chips on top of the decals.
Right, we got
we do have Spruglu Addict saying, "Am I in the wrong place? We seem to be talking about modelling."
Sorry.
Yeah. It's part of the contract. But
David Ward says, "I don't know, Spruglu. I think the boss might have had words."
Yeah. No, the boss never had words.
Mark Scopes does say, "Go on, Fox, give us some accents." I wasn't having a pop. It was cheesiness at its best. I think I did have we could just throw countries at Fox and make him do the accents, but I think that would just upset so many people.
Everybody, yeah. If you haven't watched the video, every year I do a Black Friday video. Well, every year for the last 3 years, I do a Black Friday advert for eModels, and it's just I have a little silly character called Brad Humbucker, who's like a typical American news anchor. So I've got a fake news desk. He's like, "Hi, I'm Brad Humbucker." The thing is, I can do it loud.
I shall be back momentarily. So
okay. I can do it loud. I just when I'm recording a voiceover, I have to do it quietly. So
Yeah,
that's where it gets a bit rubbish.
yeah. I find most of my voiceovers are like 4 a.m, so I go into whisper mode. It's like whispering Bob.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Great. So I thought Brad Humbuck had a great American accent, but he hasn't. This is like this is the E-Models News
well,
Network.
that's probably the comic effect of it, that he hasn't got a proper American accent.
Yeah, it's just revenge for every time an American movie puts an American as an English person and gets a terrible Irish or every time an American TV show hires an American to play an Irish character. Oh, I hate that because there's no such thing as an American actor who can do a good Irish accent, with 1 or 2 exceptions. Any episode of I love Star Trek, but if I sense an Irish character who's not Irish, I just stop that watching and straight away I turn it off or walk away.
It's like Murder She Wrote when she's supposed to be in England, and
she's actually an English actress as well, which makes it worse.
Mark Scopes has got a blast from the past for you, Fox. He's asked whether you can do Captain Kremen.
I can't remember what
Kenny
Captain
Everett,
Kremen
I
sounds
think,
like.
wasn't
I remember it. I just don't remember what it sounds like.
was that the guy with the big shoulder pads?
Yeah.
No, it was the animated.
Yeah.
It was the animated sci-fi character.
Yeah. Yeah, Dick Van Dyke as a Cockney. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
impressive, says Paul Horner.
Yeah, every time I do a bad American accent, it's revenge for Dick Van Dyke,
In America,
who I did not forgive and despised until I actually watched Diagnosis Murder one day and thought, actually, he's all right.
Yeah.
Because Diagnosis Murder was actually quite good.
And moving on.
Michael Brown asks, we're doing model making this week. Michael Brown asks, is chipping fluid the same or similar as the hairspray method? Yes, basically.
the process is the same. The process is the same. Whether the actual chemical is the same, I don't know. The chipping fluid gives you a little bit more control over the chipping. I think it's more stable than hairspray. Get good hairsprays, get bad hairsprays. Some work, some don't work as good as others. So a chipping fluid will give you that standard go-to liquid that you know is going to work. That's about all there is to it, really. But it's the same effect.
I like using the hairspray because when I go in to get a can of Bristow's, I don't know if I get some looks.
Oh, dude, do you get cans of Bristow's as well? I've got 6 cans of it behind me because they're like 35p a can.
Yeah, Bristow's. And
Bristow's cheapest hairspray in the world.
Hairspray, and I'm like, don't ask. I'm a model maker, you know, and it's like then you have to go through like, and the hairspray technique is.
So I'm guessing then that Bristow's is just the cheap, crappy hairspray that they sell in corner shops.
Pretty
That's where I
much,
got mine from.
Apparently,
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, apparently they say that if you do use the hairspray technique, it's the cheapest hairspray you can get that works the best.
Well, it's not actually that it works the best. It's just that you don't need to spend a fortune on it because
I think also that you don't need perfumes and everything else in it.
Yeah,
so.
it can go cheap as chip.
I think with our corner shop, it's been there that long. Some of the prices are in old money.
Have you still got the stick-on things when they go the price labels? 35p.
Yeah.
Basically, chipping fluid it's not the same stuff as hairspray. It's very similar. It's basically a thin lacquer coat, and the idea is, if you don't know what a chipping fluid is, you got a layer of paint, you spray down some chipping fluid, and then you apply another layer of paint. And when you then wet the acrylic paint on top, has to work with acrylics, the water goes through the paint, reacts with the chipping fluid, breaks it up, and it takes that top layer of paint with it and leaves the paint underneath untouched. Hairspray works the same way. It's just a quick thin lacquer coat that the water breaks down. It's just that, like Ted says, actual specific chipping fluid gives you a lot more control and tends to do a lot finer chipping effects. Depending like hairspray is basically on and on, that's it. Whereas proper chipping fluid, you can have a lot more control over whether you want small chips, big chips, fat chips, thin chips, daddy versus chips, egg and chips, spam and chips. You know, it's more, you get more control. Hairspray is like, it's the cheapest chips version, doing chips again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same principle. It just it comes away when it's wet and takes the paint with it.
And it won't work on enamels.
No, it's basically the paint above it has to let the water go through it. So it works with acrylic paints. You can have anything underneath it, but it needs acrylic paints above it to soak through. It might work on some enamels if you're fast. I've done it with some enamels, but it's not Brilliant.
Good. Yep. Give it a go. Yeah, there's lots. I think we've all used hairspray chipping
Oh, yeah.
fluid techniques. I've also done. There's also an eModels eMopen University video about chipping. fluid.
Yeah, I think a bloke called Tedward McSkipperton did one, didn't he?
Yeah, I did that for the eMopen University. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing about hairspray is that you have to go outside and do it because it stinks and it's horrible to breathe in because it's in a rattle can, or you have to decant it from the rattle can, which is a massive pain in the bum. You may as well just buy some actual proper chipping fluid like the MIG or the Vallejo stuff and AK Interactive stuff. They're all really good, and just use those in your airbrush. Much, much better. Or you can just brush your chipping like I do because I love doing that.
I've come back and you're still talking about models. I don't.
Yeah, I know, it's
understand.
not right, is it?
Not
Yeah,
normal.
don't worry, you haven't returned to the wrong channel.
It's very, very, very strange.
Robert tells Spruglu that Chris was probably called out by Mrs. Chris.
This is true, yes.
And Colin says she's just found his hidden stash.
No, it was just a medical emergency, so everything's okay.
It wasn't a spider then.
No, there wasn't a spider. No, I could have got called away for the spider, but no, it wasn't.
Yeah, in my previous job, I was called home from work for a spider during the night. It took two of us in a riot van turning up at the house. Yeah.
Did you go in the door with the persuader, Ted?
Can you come up with a spider in the bathroom?
Did they phone 999 to get you to come home? Or
Yeah, it was the days before mobile phones, so the call had to go through the sergeant. And the desk.
And you were out on the road in a riot van at the time. It's like, we're back on that.
Hello, Ted. What you doing? Well, I'm just sat on Morrison's car park at the moment. Can you
sandwich.
go home? The wife
Well,
wants to.
I've just got this image now of you turning up in full riot gear with a persuader to knock on the front door with you.
kicking the door down, storming up the stairs,
Yeah.
get the
I
spider
do have-
out.
I do have to admit to.
Searchlights on the house. We put the searchlights on the house. Spider, we're not in there.
Ted running around with his trunks and clear.
We've got you surrounded.
Bedroom clear.
I do have to reveal there's been more than once that myself and Chris and sometimes Paul have been like playing Destiny or something on Xbox Live, and Chris has been called away temporarily because there was a spider. I think there was one time when we were all playing a game and I heard like a whoa in the background, and I was like, "That's going to be a spider in it," and Chris was like, "Yeah, I'll be back in a minute."
No spiders today.
Yeah.
Well, apart from the one that I saw behind her, but I'm not going to tell her about that. It's fine.
I tell you what we've got at the minute. I don't know if you guys are having this problem, but we've got a thing with slugs at the minute. Like every other day, there's like a slug in the kitchen that we have to find and throw out. It just seems to be a thing at the minute.
Where did they get in?
I don't know, but it's like I'll go in the kitchen in the morning, and be like, there'll be a trail. I'll be like, oh,
You need
so,
a chicken in your life.
we do. I do need a chicken in my life. I've said this many times to Mama Fox as well as a cat and a dog.
Eat the spiders and the slugs.
Because at the moment, I'm working on Mama Fox to get a cat, a dog, a chicken, or an octopus. One of the four. So
I don't think the octopus will be quite so good with spiders.
nah, it'd be cool though.
Natalie Williams is saying myself and Chris have gone all fuzzy, so you might need to do a read.
I don't know. But not
okay,
if
let me-
Ted's
let me-
okay though. I don't know.
Go quiet for a second. I shall refresh. Hang on.
And pause.
Abba-dee-ba-dee-ba-boom. There we
Is
go.
that
That's
better?
all the. I don't know what the hell I
Better,
pressed there.
Natalie.
Woo!
Actually, we do look like this normally.
I'm pretty sure that it's only noticeable that we went fuzzy because Ted's always fuzzy. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Most
Ted's
Ted
adorably
fuzzy
fuzzy.
when
We're
in
just
focus.
Ted's adorably fuzzy. We're just bad quality fuzzy. It's a big difference.
What's going on in the chat?
I
somebody
did
said-
see a question there. Andrew Plays Games says, "Do you have to be in the live stream if you win the giveaway? Only if you want to know that you've won it. Yeah, because otherwise you won't know."
Well, no,
Yeah.
you can watch it late. You can watch it later, and you'll.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
but that's the idea of putting the comments on the video. We know that there's a lot of people watch the video at another time because they can't get in on a Monday night. But what we do live at the moment, we're giving a mug away for the What's in Store. But the big giveaways, the big prizes, we know that people can't watch on a Monday night, so we give them a week to have a look at the video and join in. So yeah, so provided you check in. To find out whether you've won. We don't post it anywhere. You've got to watch the video and see who the winner was.
And if you do win a prize, if you do win one of the giveaway prize, it's just a case of mailing in and saying, "Hey, I won the prize." So that could be the next day or the next week. It's fine. Sprugru was complaining. Said apologies to any Canadian viewers as Fox is displaying a national flag the wrong way around. I've put it there now, so you can see both sides.
Mm.
There you go. I've only got a hole in my. I can only put it through a hole. I've got a whole buttonhole on both sides, so I'd just put it there.
Does it not matter? How does it matter which way round? Because the wind might blow it the other way. You wouldn't know. It could go either way.
I don't know. Yeah, because it's a double sided. It's not chiral. It's.
Is one side slightly wider than the other or something? There might be something.
No,
that's
just the way I walk. Sorry.
Is it what's in store time yet?
Yeah, go for it.
It must be about what's in store.
I
It's
want to
always
see
what's
these.
in store time.
Right. So
I haven't seen these yet, so I don't know what the theme is at
I
all.
just think we forgot something, but doesn't matter. We'll do it next week. We'll do what's in store.
Have we forgotten something?
But first of all, I can't think. I'm sure we forgot something.
Well, we haven't finished yet.
Never mind. Right, yeah, it's about time we went across and had a look at what's in store. For the new people in the chat who don't know what's going on, we're now going to go across and have a look at the eModel store, where
We're across to our sports desk.
where we've picked a number of items, not quite randomly, but all these items have a similar sort of linking theme to them. And what you've got to do is find a link to the theme, and when we say go, and not until we say go at the end, you can put your answer. And the first one that types the answer in chat wins a mug.
Yeah. But remember, you need to wait. You need to wait till Ted comes back after showing you all what's in store. He'll say, "What's the theme? Go," and you have to answer from then. Anything before he says go, we will completely ignore.
Yeah.
Count for nothing. Count for nothing.
It does get very hectic. You can type it in first, but don't press enter until after you hear Ted say go.
Yeah. And don't forget as well that your chat is weighted for you on your screen. What we see is a different chat. Well, we see the same chat, it's just at a different time to you. So the chat, the winner comes up on our screen first, and that is the winner. That's the first person, although you may have said, well, I was before him, but it doesn't work like that.
That's on your telly box. It's weighted to you, like Ted says. That we go off the chat that looks like that chat there.
Yeah, that's the one.
So you'll always be first on your chat. Doesn't mean you're first in the real chat. Before we do anything, though, as always, there's a lag between the video that you're looking at with all the eyes on your face and the chat. So before we do anything, you need to hit the refresh button on your browser and drag the slider to refresh the screen. So refresh
And drag.
and drag. Refresh and drag. Refresh and drag.
Or just press the like button.
Yeah, I'll just press the like button. Shut up. Stop killing my stick.
All right. I
That's
shall.
all I've
If
got.
you lock it on me, then I shall.
It is
do-
locked upon you, Ted
I shall
Woodicus.
do my best to now do a screen share.
This could all go wrong. It was nice seeing you all. We'll see you again next week. Bye.
Yeah, right. I'll just clear some of the things off my screen before I screen share.
Oh yeah,
um,
don't have that picture showing.
Very quickly, before
No.
you go, Ted, David Moore says, anybody seen a model of a JCB or cat digger?
yeah.
There appears to be something behind you along those lines.
Yeah, there is a digger behind me. That's the model.
Yeah, I think with the JCB one at the moment, it's down to licensing, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah,
He might be on about the backhoe sort of tractor base type
Poor
one.
Gandals.
Yeah.
Poor Gandals.
Anyway, well, whilst I get on with this, I can't see chat, so the guys will have to keep me updated about what's going on.
Yep.
Right. Now then, we do share screen.
Stephen Hill Harris says, how do you start a pudding race? You say go.
Say go.
Yeah. And then he says, apologies to Spike Milligan.
Right, share my entire screen. All right.
Sergeant Bones is making tank tracks and says he just cut off all the tracks and he's got 684 nubs.
Enjoyable. I was there. Yeah, I've been there, done
Yeah.
that.
That's why I'm glad I'm not making that Panzer 5 Panzer G Alfs.
Yeah. Right. Share.
Haven't shared yet.
Why is it not sharing?
Have you clicked the share button?
3 buttons at the top right, Ted.
Hangout video call said it's not responding.
What are you clicking on? Top 3 buttons at the right.
Yeah, got there.
Share screen.
No, hang on. I seem to have crashed.
Oh, you haven't. You're
we,
here.
we can still see you.
No, it's crashed at this end. It says not responding.
But whatever that is, close that down and don't close the hangout. down.
Yeah, I'll have to close the hangout, but I'll come back.
Oh, okay.
I hope. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. We're back in a minute.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't know what I think he's still there, Ted. He's gone.
Has he gone?
I shall refresh. Hang on.
He's still there.
He'll come back in it. I don't think it was his.
He's gone. Really. He's just not moving. I think he's.
No.
I think some people will do anything to get out of doing what's
I
installed.
know. It's a nightmare, isn't it? It's worse than me.
Terrible. Is he moving?
Yeah, some people will even try and dump it on the new bloke in the hope that he wouldn't notice it was there.
Christopher, did you do that? Did you do that, Christopher? You're a bad man. You're a bad man,
I
Chris.
did mine. Mine was
Right,
last
Ted's
week.
back.
Yeah, cheers, Chris, for letting me know, mate.
You're back, Ted.
Right, I'm back. I think. Yeah, the thing said Hangouts video call not responding, and it just all went white. So right,
I'm
we'll
going to
try
refresh
again.
because you're a bit blocky, so give me 1 second. Yeah.
Right.
How's everybody
Hang
now?
on now. Press
No,
the
he's
wrong
gone
thing.
now.
There we go.
Right.
Hang on. Now I'm pressing all the wrong buttons.
Okay, right. I'm about to share the screen, so here you go.
Yes,
Before
share the
anything
screen.
goes wrong again. Yes.
Oh,
Right. Close that. All right. Can you see
close
this?
me down.
Have you closed down what?
Yeah, we've got that.
Right. You should be able to see this when I keep away from the menu. You should see the Screaming Eagle.
Screaming Eagle.
Screaming Eagle, a 116th Screaming Eagle from Normandy.
101st Airborne.
Yeah, it's an airborne paratrooper, I guess. 116 is quite a nice size figure to paint and do.
Has he got a Mohican?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them did.
Got Mohican, muck on his face and things like that.
Yeah.
A nice figure if anybody's into figure painting. I know that Paul likes his figures and painting figures and things like that. So 1/16 scale. It's going to be quite large, isn't it? Nice little figure.
I'd enjoy that because I've got an M1934 jacket, although not quite. That's an M19. Yeah, it's the later version.
Oh, just if
I like the US World War II outfits. They're quite cool.
I think you should have a Mohican.
No, a lot of the reason they had all these like funky haircuts was a lot of them knew they weren't going to come back or potentially wouldn't come back, so they were just like, you know what, let's just go out and do all the scary hair and stuff and confuse the enemy, and let's just do this.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Anyway, 16
Plus-
65. That's quite a good price for a figure. Especially when the lots of figures that are around these days are resin and stuff like that, which makes them quite sort of out of pocket money range. But 16.95, Dragon, a 1/16 Scream Eagle. Don't forget, by the way, when we showed you these were picked just before we went on air, and at that time they were available and in stock. But we don't know how many they've got, and we don't know how many are on the shelves. And we don't know if any will get ordered tonight. But if you do want one, slap it in your basket.
Yep, and remember, it's not yours till you've paid for it. So don't just put it in your basket and wait till the end of the show. Because if there's only 4 in stock and 5 people put them in the basket and 4 people check out, and you're sat at the end like an umpty, like, oh, I can't have it now. So get it in your basket, and then what is it, Ted?
It's not yours till you check it out.
Yeah, so get it checked out. Get it in your basket and get it checked out.
Right, so there we are. Screaming Eagle, Normandy, 1944. The next one is the British Conqueror. This is Amusing Hobby, 135. Mark II, a British heavy tank. The Conqueror, Mark II. Oh, a nice tank.
Has many road wheels. I've noticed this.
All the road wheels, and
All of them.
I don't know whether that's an expended cartridge or is it a shell bouncing off the tank,
Oh, it looks like the door open. I think someone's just chucked it out.
Yeah.
or is it just a cigarette that's just somebody's just thrown it?
Put that light out.
Yeah.
That's quite a nice little touch that they've got the door open and the guy throwing the shell out.
So a bit of a tank between the war and the
Other war.
just after the war.
It'd be a nice tank to do because I did one in Berlin camo,
Yeah,
a Conqueror tank, and they are a nice, different.
they're
tank.
so it's sort of a Cold War tank.
I don't know Amusing Hobby. That's one that I've not heard of before.
Yeah, amusing hobby. I don't know what they're like, but this is 1/35 scale. So any tank in 1/35 scale Let's have a look. Oh, there's more information.
More information.
More information. It just says amusing hobby and then the
Yes.
number. But yep, that's that one. So that one is $44.99. And what's in the box? Or we're unable to tell you because it doesn't tell us on the
No
drop.
pictures. No pictures.
Next one, Star Trek. This is the Romulan battle cruiser.
Which, funnily, looks just like a Klingon bird of prey, but never mind.
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of backwards and forwards with the models in the original series. I'm pretty sure that was also the Klingon D7, but there you go. Yeah.
Great job on it.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess. I can't remember. I know there was the bird of prey, which was the flat one with the wings. I can only assume that because I can't remember in the original series they kind of mixed and matched Klingon ships and Romulan ships, maybe just because they only had one model.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Or it could just be that AMT got completely the wrong model. It's still cool.
This is 1/1000 scale Star Trek TOS Romulan battle cruiser plastic model kit. I do know that Polar Lights are pretty good kits and they can be lit. There's sort of scope for lighting these models up. They probably make quite good looking models. I never actually built one myself, but never know. I might get around to some sci-fi one day.
Just one word about these. These are labelled as snap fit kits, but you can actually find you end up needing to glue them anyway. So approach it like a normal kit.
So that's any more information on it? Once again, just tells you, it's a Romulan battle cruiser.
Battle cruiser.
The next one, something in a little bit smaller scale, and if you've ever seen these guys, you'll always want to build. Yeah, I think everybody's got to build a Red Arrows aircraft. I was kindly sent one by Dad. I'm beginning to gather a bit of a stash now. This is certainly on top of the pile in the stash. One of these lovely aircraft, fantastic. I can't stop watching them whenever they're around.
What did the Red Arrows fly before the Hawk, or did they not exist?
They flew gnats.
What? How old is the Hawk? This has got to be 70s, isn't it? Late 60s, 70s.
Yeah, they're years old now. Yeah.
Wow. What are they going to make them fly? There's nothing else they can fly right now that isn't an expensive fighter plane.
I'm quite lucky because I actually see the Hawk flying down the lake every other day as the new trainee pilots are learning how to fly and fly combat and things like that. And they're a fantastic aircraft.
Here's a more important question. You only ever see the Hawk as the Red Arrows. What was the Hawk actually used for? Because they're not going to spend millions of pounds developing a thing just for the Red Arrows.
No, it is a multi-role combat aircraft.
Because you never see them deployed anywhere, like by the RAF.
A lot of foreign air forces have them as reconnaissance. Small fighters. You can bomb them up and they have weapons and such on them.
Andrew says they use it as a trainer.
Yeah.
AJ saying Nat. So
Nat.
That's the new variant.
We have a bit of feedback on the Romulan bird of battle cruiser, not bird of prey. Romulan is now using the Klingon design, Spock and blah, blah, blah. Klingon sold the D7 design to the Romulans in exchange for cloaking technology. There you go. I knew there was a canon reason. Or they only had one model. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah.
Natalie says in 1980 they started using the Hawks after the Nat.
Yeah.
So they've been using them quite a long time now, haven't they? So
a lot of people saying it was a training plane, but exported as a light attack plane. So I guess they do have to make planes as trainers. They can't just use the proper fighter planes, can they?
Yeah. Well, we want some Hawks, please. How many do you want? 9.
Oh, can you imagine all the aircraft designers get together in the pub and one's like, yeah, I designed the Falcon for the Americans, and I designed the Tornado, I designed the Eurofighter. What did you design? I designed the training plane.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's not quite as cool, is it?
Yeah, I don't know though, because you'll find that every guy that's in the new sort of stealth, is it F-16 or whatever it is, they started the time in these. Yeah, they would have had to go through training school and fly these.
Michael Jackman says the RAF have about 100 Hawks.
Yeah, there's lots of them. Fantastic aircraft. Lovely in black as well. They started painting them black What they were a different colour before, but I know they decided that they paint them all black because they're easier to see.
That
Is
was
that
just purely because
arrow?
the real reason was they wanted to mess with the conspiracy theorists.
Uh,
The ones that believe in like black helicopters and stuff. Now they've got black fighter planes. They'll be just doing their nut, the tinfoil hat wearers, and the RAF will be there going, they're so gullible.
Yeah, they'll be there going, Hawk handles.
Full handles, 10 points.
but anyway, just look at the
Player of
price.
the game.
Yeah, £9 for a Red Arrow Hawk.
Yep.
So there you go. A Taleri. So
Yep.
yeah, not all bad.
Can't go wrong.
There's
Weekend
a little video down there as well. I think that's a very old unboxing of it.
Yes. It's a
we
very
won't-
old one with copyright ropey music that you shouldn't be
Yeah,
listening to.
we won't play it on here because it's bound to be copyright.
Yes, we can't play those.
We can't video pull.
Phil Kett makes an interesting point. He says it's much more difficult to design a successful trainer as they have to be much more stable than something an experienced pilot would be flying.
Yeah, well, I believe the trainer before this that they fly is the Tucano, and that's a transition between a fixed wing prop aircraft and a
That
jet.
sounds-
a
That
jet
sounds like a rubbish Vauxhall.
yeah.
The new Vauxhall Tucano. They
Yeah,
can fit your entire family and a complete lack of
Yeah.
any style
Yeah,
in the
but
back.
when you see them flying down the lake, all the tourists think they're Spitfires because they sound like a Spitfire.
Available in 70s, flat grey and mustard yellow.
That's right. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's it. That's 1/72 scale, a BE Hawk Red Arrow.
Mm.
So, and we got the next one. This is the de Havilland Mosquito. The Tamiya 148 scale. It's going to be big, isn't it?
Yeah, not as big as that 124th one that Michael Jackson
not
was
as big as
making.
that one. So about half the size to that 124.
Just about half the size. Yeah.
Literally, I guess, probably about half the size.
So this is Mark IV, PR Mark IV, hashtag 661066 plastic model kit.
Mhm.
Not a lot more on this. Once again,
You picked all the ones with no
I picked
extra
all the
info.
ones with no description
You
or
just give
anything else.
yourself
on
extra work, Ted.
them. And there's not even a decent box art to have a look at.
It's not even something you can read.
which is a bit unlike Tamiya, really, because you're quite good on the box art, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yep, I'm sure that those of you that know all about the Mosquito will know. And Mosquito and Tamiya, put the two together, and you must have a great kit for that.
Yeah. Tamiya makes some very, very good. A lot of their aircraft are 148 scale, and they do very, very good aircraft kits. They're very well known.
So if you want this one, slap it in your basket. It's TAM 61066. So yeah, the Tamiya 148 scale Mosquito. Finally, for the what's in store,
Ted.
the German King Tiger.
Uh,
I built this one. I think this is the one I built at Christmas.
Bless you, whoever just sneezed.
Yeah, Mrs. H. Yeah, I built this one at Christmas for the Christmas build. So if you want to see how it goes together in 4 hours, pick up the Christmas build. Was it this year? No, year before.
Last year you did the Sherman. We all did Shermans, didn't we?
Yeah,
So it
it's
must have
been
been
the year before last, that
Year
Ted. It's a
before.
couple of years ago
Crikey.
now, yeah.
Is it that long ago? But you can build, paint, and weather one of these in 4 hours.
Yes, if you use an airbrush.
don't cheat.
Yeah, and don't cheat.
I think using an airbrush is cheating. I did brush painting all the way.
Using the modern
Yeah,
method.
but pre-painting is cheating.
I didn't pre-paint it. I just pre-primed it.
Airbrushing. Yeah.
We're
Airbrushing.
not competitive at all, are we?
No,
I'm still waiting for them to come out with these little figures. You know.
there are rumours that they were going to, but they seem not to have done at the moment.
Uh,
But I did find, however, you know what I'm going to say. If you want a figure to be sticking out the top of one of these little chibi tanks,
yeah.
Warhammer figures are exactly the right scale. Get a Warhammer Tank Commander from Imperial Guard Tank Commander, and it is exactly the right scale because I've got one sticking out the top of my Sherman, and it's fantastic.
But these are great little kits. They're once again they're snap together kits if you want them to be, but put them together with a bit of glue and they won't fall apart. Brilliant.
Yes.
Great fun. Great for you. Great for the kids. And at 1169, you could have a whole battalion of tanks. Tanks come in battalions.
I don't know what's the collective noun for tanks.
Lots.
A collective noun of tanks.
Lots.
Just like when you see
Division.
a load of them, Look, there's a battalion tanks over there.
A division. Is it a division? Tank division? Armor division?
Armour division sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, armor division.
Yeah. So this is the King Tiger German heavy tank. So that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's what's in store. Should we have a recap?
Yeah, give us a recap, Ted, because I've not got it.
I'm puzzled. So,
So,
Screaming Eagle from Normandy, 1944, 1/16 scale figure. Then we have the Amusing Hobby. When I get away from the menu, the Amusing Hobby, 135 Conqueror tank. Then the AMT Romulan battle cruiser, 1000 scale. The Italeri Red Arrow. Yep. So 1/72 scale, £9. Can't be beat for £9. Slap it in your basket.
go round the menu, Ted. Round the menu. Round the menu. Oh,
Yeah,
triggering me every time.
menu discipline.
Yeah. I'm not very good at it. I've been doing it for years, but still not
Round the
very
menu.
good at it.
Round the menu.
Yeah, just get used to it. Then you change the website. So every time you come down here, you've got the menu.
Oh, go.
don't go
Oh,
down there. No.
go round, not over.
The de Havilland Mosquito B Mark IV PR Mark 5 Mark 4 Mark 4. Yeah. Yeah, that's that one. And finally, the German
There you
heavy
go. Well done.
the King Tiger. Right.
I'm
Right.
not getting the theme at all here. It's going to be really blatantly obvious, isn't it?
Yes.
I really am rubbish at this.
Yes.
Right. So I'll stop sharing.
Oh,
Well, I'll find out where I am, and then I'll come back to you.
you're in space.
Right. I'll get the chat up. I haven't said it yet. Well, I've got to
Yeah,
find
don't
the
start
chat.
yet.
Hang on a minute.
We're ignoring any comments up
Yeah,
until.
hang on a minute. I've got to get the chat up because where I crashed, I lost it before. So we'll get the chat back up.
Dude, are you doing that thing where you have all the tabs open in a separate browser window?
Yeah.
Good girl.
I'll get there in the end. Right, I've got the chat up now, and I haven't got the video up, but there we go.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm good at this. I'm good at
Preparation goes
Yeah,
on.
don't
I'm
ever
good at this.
change, Ted. Don't
Yeah,
ever
I'm good at
change.
this. Yeah. I went technological this week. I went on Twitter and totally.
Oh, dear. All that, yeah.
Totally I did get that right. So the answer, I need your answers. Go. Right. First one, dead easy. Battle of Hastings.
What?
Today is the anniversary of the Battle of Hastings in 1066.
How does
The invasion force for William of Normandy.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to explain this one for some of these.
You're
I
gonna have to
get,
go
I get some of them.
Yeah.
I get some of them, but you need to cater to my stupidity.
Okay. I'll tell you what they were. There was the invasion of Normandy,
I got that one. That was fairly easy. The Conqueror tank I get.
the Conqueror tank, William the
Yeah.
Conqueror.
Those two I get. They can be put away.
Right. Hang on. Then we have the AMT battle cruiser.
yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
That's great. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Oh,
We've got the Italeri Red Arrow.
I don't get that one.
And
With the and one
Yeah,
in the
arrow in
arrows.
the eye. Yeah.
and the Tamiya 148 the Mosquito. I did make a point of telling you that the item number was 61066.
Yeah.
There
I
we
hate
go.
everybody.
And obviously the tank at the end was the King Tiger.
There isn't anybody in the world I don't hate right now.
Yeah.
When he
I'll-
posted it in the chat earlier, he was like, "How'd you get that so quick?" he went and
Never
changed the list.
proud. It's great.
Yeah,
Well
I did.
done.
There was one other one. I did take it out because I think somebody might have given away the game away too easy. It was a group of Norman soldiers, but I took them
Yeah.
out.
It was like the amusing hobby. Norman the Conqueror, 1066, and all that battle figure Conqueror. Norman Conqueror, Battle of Hastings from Hastings. It's a hell of a title, but it gave it away.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I'm just rubbish.
Michael Jackman says you get like 3, 2, 1 every week. Yeah, 3, 2, 1.
What is the largest state in America, Texas? I'm
Uh,
gonna get. I think I can't believe I got last week's, which was whatever the hell it was, Call of Cthulhu, whatever his name was,
so-
and that was the most obscure thing ever. And yet Ted's one is dead obvious, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So there we are. Phil Lewis. I'm sure I said it was Phil Lewis. Although Russell Williamson did say the Battle of Hastings,
Yeah,
but
but he was too early.
he pressed.
Yeah.
I think he pressed the button too soon.
Yeah, got to wait till we say go. So well done, whoever the hell won that. I've got no idea. I was too busy being angry that I didn't get
It
it.
was Phil Lewis, don't we?
Well done, Phil Lewis. You've won yourself. What have we won? What's he won? I've
Mug.
forgotten. Mug, yes.
Win a mug. Win a mug.
Win a
Let us
mug,
know.
yeah.
Let us know that you've won a mug. Send us an email to ted@emodels.co.uk. Say you've won a mug. We'll get it sent off to the guys at eModels, and hopefully one will be in the post.
Address is up there, ted@emodels.co.uk. Make sure to put in the title that you've won a mug, and put in the email your name, your address, and if your YouTube name is different to your actual name, make sure you put your real name in there as well. And we will forward that on to the guys at eModels, and they will send you a mug. We assume they're in stock. If they're not, they'll send you one when they've got them in stock.
Yeah, Michael Jackson says, glad I've got 3 mugs and don't have to try anymore. There are new mugs incoming.
There are new mugs incoming, yes.
Yeah, you might need more mugs.
Yeah,
Yes.
we don't know if they've arrived yet, so we await the mug winners.
Yeah, we did have news last week of new mugs. One involving, let's just say Pete has a thing about Superman. I don't know why. And apparently, allegedly, some involving some people you might know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm assuming we'll be informed.
we'll be informed when they turn up on our. Well, what we'll do is we'll all get an email saying your order has shipped from eModels.
Yeah, we're going,
And-
I haven't ordered anything, love.
I know. It gets me every time.
The wife in the background was speed hoovering. Another order, is it?
It's done. The thing is, it's every time. It's like because whenever the guys send us stuff, like they might just send us a load of stickers or whatever, and it's like you get ping. Your order has been processed. What? What have I been drunk by now? Oh,
Been hacked.
Yeah. But unfortunately, myself and the wife share the same email account, so when it pings up, what we bought now, I bought it in.
you might need to do something to sort that out, Ted, because that's the worst decision ever.
Yeah. You need a stealth email address, mate.
Yeah.
Just use the Ted at eModels one. We won't tell.
Because nobody else ever sees those emails, apart from me, Chris, James, Pete, everybody at eModels. What happens on the mile stays on the mile.
Yeah.
Somebody before asked what the model was behind me. That's the latest eModels build. What I'm on with. I've been filming it. I've been building it, and the video should be out soon, within the
Do you
week.
want to bring it forward, Ted? Because it's all out of focus. back
Is
there.
it a bit?
Yeah,
I think
So people can see it.
the light's washing out a little bit. Yeah. It's by I forgot who it's by. Yeah, Hasegawa, the Zaxxas 135 US excavator. What a
Nice kit, that, mate.
civilian plant build. It's actually looking quite a nice kit.
That's
All the
not a
stuff-
plant, it's a
all the
digger.
stuff in the box.
Plants have leaves.
I've actually really been busy, and I've actually built some stuff. So if I could just get all this that I've built out of the box, and I need two hands. Just a minute, I need to struggle to get 2 hands to take this out. Yeah, this is what I've been building. Let's see.
Yay.
Yeah.
Such realism. So convinced.
Yeah. So yeah, the build has started.
Yeah. Ted, I have to say about that, I am disappointed that a certain new item in store this week wasn't featured in this week's What's in Store.
Yeah, I tried to find a theme to get it in, but
Well, it's your turn next week, Fox.
No, it won't be fresh and new then.
no, it might
If-
be.
No.
Still your
If you-
turn next week, Fox.
If you're wondering, I know, I'm ignoring that bit. If you're wondering what we're talking about, go and have a look at the eModels Facebook page. There's an item that came into stock a couple of days ago, which is rude. It's rude.
Yeah,
There are
rude.
bottoms and lady parts and all
You,
kinds of
you
things.
can only look at it after 9 o'clock, after
Yeah.
the watershed.
Post watershed. I like the fact that somebody put a comment there that said something a bit blue for the dads.
Suitable for work.
Here, Chris, whose turn is it next week, mate?
Well, you did
Shut
one,
up.
then you did one, then
Shut
Ted
up.
did one. So it
Shut
must
up.
be Fox's turn next week.
Silence.
Mm,
Shut up.
yeah.
Silence.
You need to remind Fox
Not
several
listening.
times throughout the week, or he'll forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's up to you next week to to fit that item into the what's in store.
No pressure.
No. Silence. I'm giving people fits now because I'm switching back and forth between me and everybody else now. No. I might do. I might just sit there and say boobs all the way through, and then we'll destroy our family-friendly thing.
What technical glitch is going to fall upon Fox Towers next week?
Oh, don't know. Fire, flood, pestilence.
Probably do this week.
When do the cicadas come out?
Yeah, plague of locusts.
Yeah. Hello, guys. I can't come on this week. They've been round and confiscated my computer.
Can't come on tonight. I've got a bone in my leg and everything and all that thing. My first tank bill, part 1.
Phil Lewis emailed us already, apparently. Email
Yeah,
sent.
Phil. Yeah, we've got your email. Thank you, Phil. I will forward that on to James in the morning.
I'm not sure what the conversation is about in chat, but Mark Scope says shared email accounts is having to explain all the Viagra spam emails. And Frogspawn says to Dave Cardboard, can you remember the IBM terminals that you locked with an actual key, or are you a youngster? I don't know what the conversation is, but I remember having a key lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Dave Cardboard says, as an IT professional, I don't think I can condone the sharing of email addresses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the old IBM PCs when we were at school. 2 things I remember is, one, the most amazing thing was that you could type in a command and it would say washing the hard drive, and it would just go like this little noise. And when you're like 12, that was the best thing ever. And 2, I remember they had like a drawing program that was really a simple CAD program where you could draw stuff with a mouse. So what I got was a Sharpie and drew the picture on the screen and then used that to draw the lines and then clean the screen off, and I had this amazing artwork that I'd drawn.
Oh, dear.
They weren't impressed because it was permanent marker.
Oh, dear.
I don't remember locking computers with a key because I never had a computer, but I do remember my parents locking the telephone dial with a key.
Yeah.
But they used to put it on the 0, so you could still dial all your friends provided they'd not.
I remember my mum doing it. We had one of those plug-in phones. Pointless.
Do you know what? Do you know what we actually used to have? We actually used to have, and I really want one. I don't know why, but we actually used to have a trim phone.
Oh, I was just going to say, the trim phone.
Oh yeah, we used to have a trim. It was avocado green, just like the pen set.
Yeah.
It was proper
Did it have a dial or push buttons?
Oh no, I had dial.
Yeah, because you could never you needed 2 hands to dial, so you
had to hold it in place.
Yeah,
because it was too light. As soon as you turn the dial, it flipped
the
across.
whole phone would flip round. Yeah.
See, I'm sorely tempted to get one, but it's just that because they're obviously pulse and not tone. If you phoned something up, you couldn't do anything with it. You couldn't press any menu options and stuff. But I'm tempted to get one just because I've got vague memory. I've got a really strong memory. Sorry, of like the mouthpiece was here, and there was a little clear bubble on the end of the mouthpiece, like where there's a screw underneath, little plastic. And I just remember that and the shape of it.
Don't they do retro phones now with pulse technology?
I don't know, but as long as you've got a dial on the front.
I do know now that trim phones. You remember they had the luminous dial on them?
Yeah.
They're now classed as hazardous waste.
Yeah, sounds about right. That sounds very familiar to my local curry shop as well.
Andrews Plays Games has just seen the item in the store.
Oh yes, there's lady parts.
We do have a question from James Chapman. He says, does anyone know where I can get Tamiya MS paints from, as he's building a Tamiya Rossi Honda NSR 500? What's the MS? Is that...
I don't know.
Models are the biggest Tamiya stockist in the UK, so that's for kids, but they do obviously have paints as well.
Yeah.
So ask them.
Yeah, if it's not actually in store, because there are different ranges of Tamiya paints. You've got the various different rattle can paints, AS, TS range. I'm going to guess it's a rattle can range if it's MS, but it might not be.
No, it's the little mini sprays, mate.
Okay, they're little ones.
Yeah, baby.
But yeah, if they should stock it if they haven't got it.
The box that my stuff came in is labelled Tamiya.
TS. Yeah. E-models are the large UK stockist, like Chris says. So if you can't find it on the website, it just means it's probably out of stock temporarily. So all you need to do is drop them an email either drop them an email, fill out the contact form, or give them a call and just say, "Hey, gang, when are you going to get them back in?" Because it'll be days. They're the biggest UK stockists. So
Yeah.
Or
to
if
me-
you haven't got them, there might be a reason why they haven't got them.
They're actually a perfect size for bikes because obviously you've only got the tins and the tank and that. So the little mini sprays are perfect.
yes, they will be one of the. I don't know if it means MS or TS then, because
He says MS, and people are saying it's the mini spray, so they are the aerosol.
Okay,
Of course, if you do have an airbrush, you don't necessarily need to use the MS paints. They probably do a normal paint version of the same colour that you can paint without using the rattle can.
Yeah,
So-
and
The rattle cans are handy though because they're proper hardcore lacquers, so they're
Yeah,
quite.
but if it's one you can't get, then you
Yeah,
say use the equivalent other.
Oh yeah. But yes,
Um,
if you're ever in doubt, just drop them an email, use the contact form, or just give them a call and
Mm.
say when will you get it in, and they'll be like, "Yeah, that'll be in a few days."
Right. Anyway, shall we get on with choosing last week's winner?
We have. I've got things ready.
I shall lock it on Christophs.
I shall share my screen,
Yeah.
and I shall prepare myself.
Get ready for the
Last
big
Vincent-
event.
We're giving away some stuff.
Just very quickly, our saviour Vincent, Mr. Lowe's Model Making, as is true to his word, he says, he's answered the question, he says, if you have an airbrush, you can get the equivalent of the TS paints in the new Tamiya lacquer range. But I don't know about the MS paints, though.
Yes, last week we were giving away the FX 172nd Blackburn Buccaneer,
We certainly were.
and
And
And not just
Blackburn
one, but
172nd Star Wars X-wing Starfighter.
4 games.
So yes, there were 2 prizes up for grabbings.
Yes,
Both
up
of
for
them. That one
grabulation.
and that one.
Look at the muscularity.
now what we're going to do before we draw this is make you aware that you might have entered for both models. You might have put your comments in. We're going to draw because all the comments go on one video. We're going to use the same comment picker to pick what the comments, if you know what I mean. So that means if you win the first prize, whatever the first prize is, if somebody's commented on space, they will win the X-wing.
Yep.
That negates you from the second prize. You can't win both prizes. So
Yeah,
if you
we're gonna make it fair and spread it out.
yeah. So if you didn't get picked for the second prize and you've already won the first prize, we'll pass it on and we'll keep going until the next one comes up.
Yeah, and we're not sure which one we're going to give away first because whichever comment we pick first, that's the first prize we give away. So if it's a space or a sailor, so that determines which the first one is. So
Absolutely.
good luck, everybody. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
So this is the video from last week.
You've got literally about 5 seconds to put a comment on that video now.
If you can do it now, because I'm going to copy that now. It doesn't matter where I'm copying.
It's too late now,
When
he's done
I
it.
press the button, because the video thing doesn't change. I'm using the random comment picker here, so I shall paste that one in there.
I like that little keyboard. Oh, hello.
Yes.
Just
Hey, what little keyboard?
on
Ooh,
that
where?
advert, little keyboard on the advert was most excellent.
Oh, it wasn't.
Carry on. I like little keyboards.
Right, so I shall click the get comments. We have 47 unique comments in there now. If you're
Ooh.
commenting now, it's too late because
Yep.
they're locked in now.
You're SOL now.
That's it. I shall now click this and pick a random winner, and we'll find out what you could have won. If you see your name, you probably didn't win because it hasn't come to you
The
yet.
tension.
We have
The winner,
Dave Gilbert. He wins the sailor, so he's won the.
Buccaneer.
Buccaneer.
There we go. You have won the Buccaneer.
What
So
was his comment?
congratulations,
What was his
Dave
comment?
Gilbert. Your comment was, "Do sailors get paid at high rates?"
Pirates.
So
Here all week, trying to fish.
Dave Garboard, send an email ted@emodels.co.uk.
Address
tell
at the top of the screen.
Tell us you have won the Blackbird Buccaneer.
Yeah, make sure you put the hashtag 06021 in there and put it in the title as well. Put in that you've won that and the hashtag and so on.
Yeah.
Just so that the guys at eModels can see just so they can see your mail amongst the thousands of other mails they get. They make sure they can see it from us and they know what you've won.
Right. What we're going to do now for the second one for the X-wing is keep drawing the name until somebody commented a space-related comment.
Space.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if
Oh,
your
no,
if the next comment
Pick
comes
another
out,
winner button.
Yeah, this may take a while.
If it comes up Sailor again, I'll click it again. If it comes up Dave Garboard again, I'll click it again.
Yep.
But hopefully, the next time I click it, it will be a space winner.
Space.
So let's go.
Space.
Ready?
Space. 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 Space.
Final
Space. Hey lady.
Oh,
Hey lady.
we went back
Space.
to that. I thought we were
Space.
just going to pick another one straight away, but it's gone.
Space.
I'll
Space.
click
Hey
the start
lady.
button.
Hey lady. Space. 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 Wanna go space? Wanna go space?
Space.
Go space
Space.
today. Go space today.
Space. Go space.
Space.
Gonna be a
Space.
pirate. It is. It's a space, and it's Clarky.
Yay.
Congratulations, Clarky. You have won with space. It's cold outside. There's no kind of atmosphere. I'm not going to sing it. So there we go. So, Clarky, congratulations. You have won yourself the Bandai 172nd Star Wars X-Wing Starfighter.
Swing.
Hashtag 01200.
Yes.
God, that couldn't have gone better, could it?
No, brilliant.
Amazing.
That cuts an hour off the show, doesn't it?
Looking-
We can go sleep now.
Yeah, don't forget if when your gift arrives, when your package arrives, take a picture of yourself with it and send it to the Facebook page. We'd love to see them.
Yep, and if you put your Piccadilly 261 sticker in the back window of your car and Steve Penk drives past and sees it, you win £5. That's a real northern Manchester joke that nobody will get apart from about 3 people. Yeah, well done to the two of those, Dave Cardboard and Clarky.
Dave
Remember
Cardboard says, this means I now have a stash.
Yay. Remember, the email, I'm pointing, but I'm not locked on me. Remember, the email address is up here, always. ted@emodels.co.uk. We'll forward it on to the guys, so make sure you put in the title what you're emailing for, the prize you've won, and then we can fish it out and make sure we send it on for you.
Yeah, Dave Moores. Yes, I'm sure I've seen your email that it has come through, and we'll get you sorted.
Yeah, do include your name and your address, of course. And if
I tend not to send the emails of an evening because I
You're asleep.
don't want to wake anybody up with the phone pinging and things like that. And
that's Pete Mate's fault if he doesn't turn his email off at 11 at night, and he doesn't, trust me. That's his own problem.
yeah, you just go to bed and your phone will ping and it'll be Pete. Like, oh, I've just had a thought. Can you do this for me? Yeah.
I've had that. I'm like, really? Wow. Like I've mailed something to James, mate, during the day, like after, like, say 6 o'clock in the evening. So, like, during the day when James is there, James is the manager, James is there, and he gets all the emails. When he goes home, of course, Pete, mate, the governor, might occasionally drop into an email because he has the same email. And I'll send something off at like 7 o'clock, saying, "Oh, tomorrow can you do this?" I'll get a reply at 1 in the morning. Sure, no problem. Wow. Go to sleep.
Well,
never sleeps.
does that mean we're done? Have we done everything for today?
I think so.
James Chapman says, quick update. Forgot to let everyone know that his little girl turned 1 year on the 3rd of September.
Oh, yes.
Crikey, already. I remember that. I remember James telling us that she just
We put the
arrived.
picture up and everything. He says she's just started walking. Really impressed with my real life model. Awesome. Have you got a denubbing yet? Because you need to get a denubbing and despruing for you.
Yeah,
Get all the tedious
they're
stuff.
quite safe with some sanding sticks, things like that.
Yeah. That's what they're for. They're just there to do all the tedious stuff you don't want.
Or you'll find that they can wear them off with the teeth as the
Yeah.
teeth are coming through. They can just wear them off. Yeah.
And remember, when she's just starting out, you want to start her easy. Gunpler's a great way to get into building models because it's all snap faced. It's a great way.
Yeah, and by about 2, they're probably into Warhammer.
Yeah. Now, just a couple of things to remember. First of all, don't forget, a video went up today, and eModels said last week at Black Friday, the 29th of November, which is a month away. It's a
not
long
that far
time
away.
away. But they're letting you know now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're letting you know now, so you can start saving your Magic Space pennies. 29th of November from 12 a.m. first thing in the morning on the 29th of November to 11:59 p.m. So basically all day, refresh and drag, all day. You can use the code EMODELS29, EMODELS29, to get huge fat discounts on anything you order. So remember, Black Friday, 29th of November, use that code. They will honour the code on Saturday if you go in store, because they're going to be closed on the Friday because they get so hammered on the Friday they can't have the store open as well. So, but yes, use the code EMODELS29 on the 29th of November, Black Friday. And don't forget, last week we announced that, fingers crossed, someday soon, eModels will be stocking Warhammer. But I don't know, there's no news on that yet. It's still in the works.
I was just checking my calendar as well. There's only about 4 weekends to go before Telford as well. If anyone's got Telford, that's a big event. Save. Don't spend all your money at Telford. Save some for the eModels Friday.
Yeah, big savings. Because don't forget, of course, eModels always discount everything in their store, always, all the time.
Yeah.
Everything is always got a 10% discount in the store. The Black Friday is adding to that, so you're getting more discounts than you normally do. You're always getting a good discount. You're
Taking
getting
it
more.
away.
What?
Adding to it or taking it away?
It's making the savings even bigger.
Yeah, but the price is smaller.
Makes all the numbers. It's the opposite of a tapper game. All the numbers get smaller.
Oh,
Yeah, it's nice. Some numbers get bigger because other numbers get smaller.
so there is
And unlike-
balance.
Yeah, so unlike say Borderlands, where you want the numbers to get bigger, you want the numbers to get smaller.
Not just because they're further away.
No.
Now my head's starting to hurt.
Have you tried to think again? I'm going to do a quick refresh, guys, because you've got all 1987 on me. Hang on. One of them. One of them. One of them.
Right, yeah.
There we go.
See if we
We're
can
back.
disappear before he comes back. Then we've
No,
all.
we're back now. Too slow.
I don't know why I bothered refreshing because I think we're going now, aren't we?
Are we? Okay, bye.
Yeah.
I think that's it. We've not had any last minute text from the governor now.
I've just checked. No, I've just.
He's not announcing that we're suddenly selling lingerie or.
Just got some text about Viagra, lingerie, and that sort of.
Just your normal stuff there.
We're not branching out into garden furniture or
No.
plumbing. No.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it for tonight. We're giving things away, and next week,
Yeah.
never know, we might give things away again. So, thank you for joining us. Thanks for coming along on this Monday night. emodels.co.uk. Go and have a look at the website and have a look, buy things. Yeah.
Your one-stop shop for all your model making needs.
Yeah.
That's me at the front of videos that says that.
Yeah, and if they haven't got it, there's a good chance they could probably get it.
Yeah. So just remember, if there's anything you want and it's not in, you can't find it on the website, it just usually means it's out of stock. Just drop them a line, use the contact form, or give them a call, and they'll be more than happy to let you. And don't forget, I've seen them order things in that they don't actually carry in stock because the customer said, "Can you get me X?" I went into the store once and saw them with a big 1/8 scale Citroen car of some sort, and they said, "Yeah, we don't stock this," but one of our customers said, "Can you get it?" So we
Eggs,
got
did
it
you
for
say?
them.
Can you get
One
me
eight-
eggs?
it was a 1/8 scale Citroen something.
Ah.
Old vintage car. Massive it was. Big artillery kit. They said, "We don't stock it, but we got it because the customer asked." So if you ever want something, they can probably get it for you. So always ask. If you don't know, ask. If you do know, ask.
They know who to talk to get the stuff in.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave it for now, and we'll do it all again next week.
Yay.
Thanks for joining us. Right. Good night, all.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
What is Bondo Press? There we go.